Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, my name is Obu Godsweet, which is super excited to be back here, and I have here with me
Bar from the positivity mindset, looking different today.
Yeah, looking all fresh and peng.
That's cool, thanks man.
Alright guys, so today we'll be reacting to why Islam do not allow men and women to pray side by side in the Masjid. Deedat, very funny. Wow. Yeah, Deedat could be very, very funny, very controversial, and sometimes sound arrogant. But one good thing about him is that because you feel he's sounding arrogant because he have knowledge. He's read the scriptures, but it's the Bible and the Quran and other books, you know.
Yeah.
So he has vast knowledge on this, and that's why you could feel he's arrogant, because whatever you're throwing at him, he knows.
Like overconfident.
Yes, and confidence, you have to wear confidence every time. That's what me I believe. Even though sometimes I find yeah, you're a show off, but then that's Deedat for you.
Yeah.
Without wasting much of your time, guys, let's get right into this.
Yes, ma'am. The question was, when do the women come to pray? See, the obligation to pray, as well as every other religious obligation, which is incumbent upon the man, is also incumbent upon the woman. But there is what is called a segregation of the sexes in Islam. Men and women are not allowed to freely intermingle. So in the absence of a separate facility, they pray at home. There are certain mosques which has certain separate facilities. Like this particular one here, unfortunately, you know, the way from the very beginning it was built, it didn't have that facility. But now, the free intermingling is that which is not allowed. Otherwise, everything the man does, the woman must do. Fasting, prayer, going on a pilgrimage, giving charity, whatever the man does, the woman must do the same. But now, you might not have had the chance of coming through that section there where we make ablution. So you might have come in straight in here. That other side, you saw the steps there, seats there. Going out time, you can have a look. So the men and the women must go through the same process. And imagine you making your ablution there, and I'm waiting for my turn, because at prayer time there's always a queue behind every tap. Because there's certain fixed times and everybody tries to make it, you know, as short as possible, how to get it quickly to fit into the time slot. So you making your ablution and I am waiting for my turn, for example. And I can assure you, madam, that as old as I am, I see the lady, you know, sitting there, her tresses around, you know, the nape of the neck, lifting up her legs, washing her feet. I said, you know, number one, you won't feel comfortable with a man sitting on your right hand side and a man sitting on your left hand side, and some places a man sitting across there, you're lifting up your legs and washing your feet, you might be wearing a hot pant, you know, you won't be at ease. Then there's a man sitting on your right hand, the man sitting on your left hand side, and there's a guy waiting from behind, you know, he's watching, say, lovely tresses this lady has got, what lovely arms she's got. This is man, any man, unless he's a lunatic or something else is wrong with him. Look, this is how God made man. Then you might have witnessed as in prayer, everybody standing shoulder to shoulder. Because the Holy Prophet Muhammad, he said that when you stand up for prayer, you must not leave gaps for the devil to get in between you and your brother. Now the devil that he was talking about was not the guy we see in the art gallery, museum complex, you know, City Hall. You go upstairs, second floor there, and you see the paintings by great artists. There is one huge painting there of a beautiful woman, well proportioned with wings. She's got a wand in her hand. She's directing the devil to go to hell, and you can see the devil flying off. In the picture you can show all that. Hellfire in the distance, and the devil is flying off, and this devil has got ruddy complexion, red. He's got horns, he's got sharp ears, he's got a tail with a barbed hook. It's worth seeing. Some great artist has done that job. I said, now you know, a devil like that, if you saw it, you run for dear life. Me too. Muhammad wasn't talking about that. He was talking about you, yourself, we, ourselves. So you see, I'm white, he's black. I'm rich, he's poor. That devil must not be allowed to come in between you and your brother. So you stand shoulder to shoulder. My brother can't get away from me, and I can't get away from him. But instead of my brother, you, my sister, standing next to me. And I said, Allahu Akbar. So Allah is the greatest. But nice cushy feeling, nice and warm. I'm wondering whether she's not the greatest. No, this is the human mind, how it works. Then we stand rows and rows behind each other, as you have seen, rows and rows behind. And my sister, she's standing in front of me there in the row, and I'm behind her. So Allahu Akbar. So Allah is the greatest. This is 36, 24, 36. Look, this is man, any man, unless he's a lunatic or there's something else wrong with him. This is how God made man. You know, the thing that allures him most on this earthly existence is woman. And I don't have to prove it to the Westerner. To you people, I don't have to prove it. You know it, this weakness of man, and your people are using it to the limit. Look, Lucian Motors, Smith Street, Durban, they sell second-hand trucks. But on the trucks that they advertise, there's a woman in the bikini on top of the truck. Then G North, they moved from Field Street to North Avenue. G North, they sell second-hand tractors. They sell tractors. And on the tractor that they advertise, a woman in the bikini on top of the tractor. I'm asking, what has a woman in the bikini got to do with a second-hand truck or with a tractor? Except the man. You see, he'll be enticed to read that advert because of that woman. And then BMW has beaten the lot. BMW is a motor car supposed to be a little better than the Mercedes-Benz. I'm not in the market for it. I had 4 Beetles. You know, I spoke about Beetle. 4 Beetle motor cars, one after another. And then they did away with the Beetles. I was forced to buy a Golf. I'm still not in the market for a BMW. But a BMW advert in our daily news attracted me. What's the advert? BMW, illustration of a beautiful BMW motor car. In front of the motor car, there's a woman in the skimpiest bikini, what you call the tanga, the G-string. And she's standing in a lustful, enticing pose. And at the bottom is written, test drive her now. Who? The woman of the car. She's buying the car. No, the buyer car. So what are you doing to your women for? You see, the Westerner, he sells his mother, he sells his wife, he sells his daughter, he sells his sister. Everything is for sale. To him, anything, his wife is a star. You know, he's proud, his wife is a star. She's being, bruised on the screen. The guy is simulating sex with her on the screen, and he can enjoy, so my wife is a star. So what has happened to you? Your sense of values. Your mother is a star. Your daughter is a star. This is the Holy Prophet Muhammad, he said that women, they are your mothers and your sisters and your daughters and your aunts. They are to be loved, respected, cherished and protected. They are not for sale. So according to our system, this free intermingling is a thing that is not allowed. But if there is a separate facility, like in the Grey Street Mosque now in Durban, they have a separate facility, separate entrance, separate place for ablution. Everything is separate. They are in the mosque and yet out of the mosque, allowed. Only the free intermingling is not permitted now. But the obligation is on the man as well as the woman to pray.
Like, share, and subscribe to create awareness. We are also available on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and Paltalk.
So I guess now you know, like, the reason why a man and a woman in Islam, they don't pray together side by side. Because, like, based on his points, and which I do support as well, is like you praying together with a woman at the same place, like you touching together, like the skin, especially someone who is not your sister per se, so like, or like say your mom, like, that we have that type of attraction to like the opposite sex, and you'll be praying. That time your mind should be focused and on God. When you say Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest, but you're thinking like you're touching a woman's skin, like that type of feeling, it's kind of have like some lustful feeling as well. And at the same time, it's based on like putting on moralities in place and all of that, that kind of like protecting the woman as well from the guys, or protecting the guys of the woman. But at the same time, it's more like, I find it more okay, yeah. Because way back when I was a kid, I was thinking like, what's up? Why don't they allow like men and women to pray together side by side? But when growing up, I tend to like realize, just imagine you're praying here and a woman is in front of you with nice shape and all of that. Would you be focused? It will be
Definitely,
hard,
it will be difficult.
Yeah,
Especially when you come to this part of Africa where we are so blessed,
Oh yeah.
Like especially our ladies, like you were saying things, everything, like you were on the way, you could get distracted if you're not focused, if you're not disciplined enough, you'll be chasing after everything in skirts and trousers, But so I understand now, even from where I'm from, the kind of denomination I belong to as a Christian, we don't even sit together. Okay, so when you get into the church, the ladies have their own section and the men have their own section, because we believe, you could actually get distracted, and apart from that, the coverings, you make sure, even if you're going to sit in the front, even if you're in your coma, the transmission is for you to make sure you're well covered, like down to your feet, so that you don't end up confusing the man who is preaching or person who might see you. Because in Africa, God blessed our women a lot with the curves, the shapes. When you talk about the hourglass, when you talk about the figure 8, we are all blessed in that direction. So I understand, and ladies, most of them, the skin is way different from us, the guys. And when you're rubbing against it, you can start getting some different feelings, you could actually start lusting from that moment. Even apart from even touching, women, when we see, especially, we already attracted first. But when we see them, before we start chasing, or try, okay, let's get to know each other and the rest of that, because we already see what we want and we're attracted already. So imagine the male and the female washing at the same place, and
you're seeing
you see the thighs or the legs of the lady, the hands, how fresh it is, how delicate it is. And before you know, you think, instead of thinking Allah Akbar, you're like, come on, this lady, she's looking all peng, she's looking, I won't mind,
That's it. So like, and at the same time, so like, the way our minds are programmed lately, like based on what the media is showing us, like the movies that comes out, the music, it's more about showing the naked body, like sex. We see it as a common thing.
So keep replaying, everything. See, the fact is that in the world right now, everything gets sexualized. You talk about food, you talk about every single type of advert. You see the names they give it to them, the people who advertise it. You would see food and you see some lady in bikini. You're like, what concerns the food and the lady in bikini? You see cars and the lady in bikini. What exactly? Because the
test drive.
Test drive. And you said, who are we test driving? The lady
the car
or the car? So a lot of things people like try to sexualize because they feel like most people in the society who have the capacity to purchase this expensive gadget, this expensive product are the male in society. Have more than 70% of male possess the wealth in a particular society. So they are the ones who are able to purchase. And when you sexualize it, you use women, like they get easily drawn to it. Okay, oh, this lady is fine, like she has nice scores on the billboard, and they don't just get attracted to the car first. Something attracts them to the ad. So the ladies, they attract them to the ad, and before you know, they are already purchasing it. And why they are purchasing that product is to actually impress the ladies. So times, we
don't buy stuff to please ourselves. Most times we buy stuff for like people to like say, this guy is doing well, and all of that. We're living for people rather than living for God. That's the thing,
So I understand, and it's very good. I think, for that to be practiced in Islam, and with the kind of background I have, with the church I attend, the denomination I attend, I see that it's I believe that's true. Because imagine some lady with a heavy backside standing in front of you praying to. There'll be a whole lot of sin and the presence of God. Seriously, Sometimes I don't even blame some pastors who are not grounded in the faith, and you hear them like, this pastor slept with so person, and it's the kind of things. Because if you don't put precaution in place, you'll be getting this kind of happiness.
We are humans.
Yes, we are. Like, especially men, before you know, blood is rushing down to different areas, and now we're not even thinking the right direction. Until we get that part of us that makes us human satisfied, we don't think before we come to our senses. So I think that is very good initiated by the prophet. Like, I understand this perfectly well. Yes,
the commands from God and all of that. So that's it. It's really nice. Ahmed Deedat, the way he preaches, like, he makes fun but wisdom in it.
Exactly.
So that's really true.
Alright guys, thank you for sticking with us on this one. If you have any other videos you want us to react to, or anything at all you want us to react to, drop it in the comment section. If you have any suggestion to make this channel better, please drop that in the comment section, and we'll definitely do justice to that. Till coming next time, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. For now, we say